The walls of the stone manor gleamed dull under the moonlight. The masonry, weathered by what now had been a century and a half, finally seemed to show its age. What once was the pride of the Sepulveda clan, no, the pride of the entire province, the jewel of Leyte, looked as though it was built with chalk, under threat of collapse from the faintest breeze. This was how Don Raul Sepulveda saw his ancestral home as he beheld it from the driveway, barefoot in his nightclothes. The stiff wind and the cloud-laden sky told him typhoon season had arrived much earlier than expected. He worried about the coconut plantation, tallying in his mind the acreage he might lose, but more than that, he worried about Villa Sepulveda, fixed in the firm yet absurd belief that the manor would dissolve in the rainfall. The old man fastened his robe, which did little to prevent the chill from seeping. Arms wrapped around himself, he made his way through the garage and into the sea-long and its maze-like walls. He felt his way through the dark, guided by the mahogany posts of the manor's foundations, until he found the room where the groundskeeper stored the tools that for weeks had been waiting to be used. He took the shovel and the pickaxe down from their hooks. He felt their heft in his hands before placing them into a wheelbarrow. He took an electric lantern too, the only one that had some charge left. Bags of cement languished next to stacks of marble tile. He felt his blood pressure rise. Raul had unfinished business, and he didn't have a lot of time. He carted his implements toward the back of the manor. Past the veranda, he traversed the large expanse of lawn, stopping as he reached a depression close to the stone fence that bounded the villa from the plantation's groves. Under his instructions, the groundskeeper had erected bamboo stakes to demarcate the plot for the Don's project. Raul squinted to find them and thanked his stars that Tiago had tied a tattered shred of red cloth at the end of each stake. This should not take too long. He set the lantern down by the wheelbarrow. Shovel in hand, the old man began to clear the soil. His eyesight had not left him in his dotage, and he found little difficulty in spotting the rocks that needed to be sifted. The difficulty came in getting them off the ground and hauling them back onto the cart. He didn't mind the roughness under his bare feet, or the chill wind that turned his skin into goose flesh, but the strain on his back and the tightness on his forearms worsened with each load. At length, Raul began to slow down, both to give himself a respite and to make as little noise as possible as he placed the rocks into the cart. The cricket's chorus was not loud enough to drown the clang of rock on metal, and he didn't want to stir his wife from sleep. Catching him at work in the dead of night wouldn't surprise her. She knew of his plans, and she knew of his bullheadedness. Still, he was not inclined to get into another argument, to be mocked for his folly. Oh, how he longed for those days when she never gave him back talk.